Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Micah. I'm back with another episode of Daggerfall Unity, and I just got finished mowing the yard, man, and I got a lot of satisfaction from that. I came indoors, got a little shower, and I was like, you know what I'd really like to do? I'd like to sit down and record my next episode. So here we are, man. Yeah, Texas has gotten quite a lot of flooding recently, so it's been a couple of weeks before I was able to actually mow my yard. I don't know if this is like a southerner thing or if this happens everywhere, but I actually get a lot of enjoyment from the chore of mowing the yard. It's kind of peaceful, kind of relaxing. It's also somewhat laborious, and that's part of what adds to the satisfaction, of course. Um, anyway, I finally found the right stretch of days where instead of it raining on us nonstop and then just being muddy, it had gotten a little bit of sunlight the past couple days. So I got out there, man. I took care of it. I did not weed eat like I need to. So stay tuned next week to see if I weed eat. Um, yeah, I was thinking about what we should do in this episode, and you know what, man? I think it's time that we just send it. You know, it's like this whole objective is ultimately to complete the main quest of Daggerfall without dying, and the more we rest on our laurels, the less likely we are to complete that quest, because we'll get into some sort of dangerous situation. Um, we'll die without even progressing in the main quest, and Daggerfall is kind of unique in the Elder Scrolls games in that I really do enjoy the main quest. With basically every other Elder Scrolls game, to an extent not including Morrowind, I just feel like the main quest is such a chore. Okay, Morrowind is actually pretty good about it. Oh, look at us go. All right. This is what we get for traveling recklessly. We saved like 100 gold on the cost of traveling, but King Lysandus' army of ghosts are pretty vigilant tonight, so we're gonna run away from the town a little bit. Anyway, yeah, so let's talk about the main quest in Oblivion and Skyrim. Actually, let's look at this. Hey there, hello, an archer waves at you from a safe distance. I'm a volunteer to help guard the town at night. If you run into any trouble, come find me. Hey, where are you, buddy? I'd like to just set up camp. Let's see if we can rest. Let's see, we are in Daggerfall. So am I in Daggerfall City, or... Let's see if we get into trouble for rest. Let's just pop the tent. Let's just use it. Oh man, I forgot I have all this stuff to sell. Oh goodness, what a haul. Okay. Alright, we gotta find a gem store in Daggerfall. It looks like we're a pawn shop. What time is it exactly? It's about 9 p.m. So let's rest for a good 10 hours. Okay. In Oblivion, you go to Kvatch and you start the main quest, right? From that point on, you are committing to allowing the game to spawn a ton of... I get the feeling of being watched. Who is this? You're committing to allowing the game to start spawning a bunch of Oblivion gates all around Cyrodiil. And it, like, really... it can really just ruin the mood. It's like you're just, if you're like me and you prefer to not fast travel in the smaller games that are Oblivion and Skyrim, and Morrowind to an extent, if you prefer to not fast travel in those games, you'll often find yourself just the sky turning red and like dark, strange storms brewing around you as you're going from, let's say, like Shadenhall to Bruma, just making your average trip along the roads. And so if you're role-playing, you have this dilemma on your hands. Well, if I'm a, you know, kind of a good aligned character, I'm going to need to go out of my way and help out. And this makes playing the game such a pain. Like, it's like, oh great, another Oblivion gate. Whereas like in the real world of Oblivion, or of Cyrodiil in the Oblivion Crisis, you're like, oh, I really need to put out the danger. I'll be a hero if I do this. It's fraught with peril, but I should do it anyway. But in the game itself, you're like, oh damn it, another Oblivion gate. Okay, fine. You know, it becomes a bit of a chore. So yeah, starting the main quest in Oblivion, it kind of ruins the aesthetics of the game for me, and you know, I've completed the main quest a couple of times, and so I haven't touched it since then. I probably should go back and play through it with Oscuro's Oblivion Overhaul enabled, and you know, just enjoy it from a more difficult perspective. But the combat in Oblivion is just not balanced well at all. Once you start fighting high-level enemies, you're just climbing HP Mountain all day. It takes like 50 attacks to knock them down, and by the end of like 3 fights, you're like, what exactly did I do with my day whenever I chose to play Oblivion today? You know what I mean? It just feels kind of bad. So starting the main quest in Oblivion, it's kind of irreversible, and you can... I mean, it has irreversible consequences on the world. That's true up to the point where you finish the main quest, of course. But yeah, and in a similar way, whenever you're playing Skyrim, by not starting the main quest, you're saying, I don't want to fight dragons. And that's cool with me. Alright, yeah. So, just like how in Oblivion, you starting the main quest causes consequences in the world, and those consequences just wait on you to start the main quest. You know, it'd be one thing if the Oblivion Crisis didn't wait on the player, or the Crisis with the dragons returning didn't wait on the player, but the fact that you know, in Skyrim you only consent to have dragons in your world by starting the main quest, it's a huge deterrent to starting the main quest at all. And it would be really cool in a way. I'm sure there's a mod out there that does this, but if you could, like, if you could just have the dragons around without being the Dovahkiin, that would be so great. I swear, like, just like the way that they force being the Dovahkiin on the player character is so obnoxious in Skyrim. I know people enjoy that game a lot. I'm trying not to, like, be too hard on it. But yeah, I really don't like being the messianic character trope, usually. Which brings me back to what I meant to talk about to begin with, which is that I really, really like the way that the main quest is handled in Daggerfall. Instead of adding a bunch of annoying consequences to starting the main quest, like the worst you have is a couple of timers that you should probably pay attention to, like, oh, you have to complete this quest in 9 days, take care of it, or you're locked out of the main quest. And you know what, if you're locked out of the main quest, big deal, right? Let's like go do something else, it's fine. Okay, I'm just gonna pawn this stuff real quick. Yeah, so playing a character who is not like a messianic figure is really, really cool to me. Am I selling too much? Okay, sold 2,000, let's hold on to the rest. Yeah, playing a character that isn't like some sort of badass messiah, like that makes this game awesome. I know in Oblivion, you're kind of just like the a kingmaker. You're not necessarily the badass yourself. You just help Martin Septim get there. So that's pretty cool. But still, my main gripe is how it impacts the world, and it's also very linear. Let's see. Yeah, another thing I like about the Daggerfall main quest is it's just conducive to the things that you were going to do anyway. You were going to go into dungeons. You were going to find the best loot that you can. Oh look, Abakai has a complexion that's like more fitting of a Redguard. That's pretty cool. I think there's a mod out there that I have installed that does that. It's in the mod list, but I can't remember what it is. By the way, I was kind of considering like which quest should I actually start on. I was leaning a bit toward Wayrest because Morgaya is who contacted us. Lady Brisciana told us to just go make friends with the powers that be and see what happens. But we are closest to Daggerfall, so this is where we ended up. I think that's what makes these kinds of decisions in real life quite often. It's like, well, it'd be much more inconvenient to go to this far away place, even though it'd be preferred, so let me just go around the corner. It was still a few days travel, but you get it. Alrighty, so Abakai says, my husband's poor grandmother, Nulfaga, is rumored to be in very frail health, her once brilliant mind almost utterly destroyed. She has locked herself in her castle in the Rothgarian Mountains and experiments in magical studies with no regard for her own safety. I would know of her condition, but few possess the bravery to face the horrors of her castle and speak with her. My reward for a report on her health is a magical left pauldron. Will you be my champion in this? That could look cool. Yeah, where do I have to go, lady? By Divad, I am glad to have found a champion. The name of her castle is Shedungent, or Shedungent. And it should not take you longer than 150 days to go there and return. If she is insane, Shedungeon may be a very dangerous place indeed. Be very careful, may Kenrith and Mara protect you. So 150 days, it should be ample time. But we should just like take stock of how many potions of each type we have. 3 free action. We have a couple of teleports with an anchor that's set in Coagria, and that's fine. We might want to set a closer anchor whenever we get to the Rothgarian Mountains. We have just 1 heal true. What about basic healing potions? We have 5 stamina, that's good. Only 1 potion of healing. Alright, so this is going to turn into potion quest for a second. Yeah, I might end up cutting some of it out, but let's keep chattering about what the what the main quests in each game do well and what they kind of lack, I guess. This game gives you quite a bit of agency about how you want to proceed, and I believe there's a kind of recent mod that sets up the main quest in such a way that quests that were previously required are no longer required. You know, you have to do certain things like track down the Emperor's letter. You have to get... am I giving some stuff away? I guess I might be. There are still some things that are required, but the path is not totally set, and you can just, from what I understand, really work for just one of the major powers to get stuff done. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. I haven't installed it yet. I'm thinking maybe I'll set it up after completing the game on camera once, and then maybe with future characters I'll change it up like that. But yeah, you get a lot of freedom about how to complete the main quest. I mean, if you've seen the roadmap for the kind of quests you do have to complete, it is a bit convoluted and hard to follow. In my new player guide, I recommended not using a guide for as long as possible. Honestly, that's mostly to get you started in the game. Like what we did just now, talking to Abakai and getting a quest, getting a letter from Morgaya, that will get you pretty far into the main quest without you having to keep track of a lot of plot threads or anything like that. There will come a time whenever you are, like, there will most likely come a time whenever you just get stumped and you're like, I legitimately don't know what to do next. For me, that's whenever, like, you finish Lotun's quest, you're supposed to go to Direni Tower, but I don't think like the game gives you a quest to like go to Direni Tower and speak with Medora Direni. It just seems like with the information you get, you could conclude, oh, like that would be a good idea for me to do that. But it could, in my case, it could easily just like slip your mind to do that thing. So my point is, I think that this game is really enjoyable if you like ignore guides and things like that. But I'll be the first to admit that I usually end up using a guide at some point, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm really scared of messing up the main quest by not doing something in time. Like if you've seen Adventure Arts, what is it called? The Dark Knight playthrough. He actually, I think, missed the deadline on a certain quest that was supposed to show a quest dungeon to him. But this made like an emergent narrative sort of situation happen where he's like, well, I want to complete the main quest, but the quest giver is not an option now. And so he had to find his own way of like getting that dungeon placed on his map or finding it in the wilderness. And he eventually came to the conclusion that, spoiler alert, I guess, that if he went to enough bookshops in the region that has the dungeon that he needed, he would eventually find a map to the dungeon. And it worked out. Like a dungeon or a quest that has been labeled as required previously, he got by the game without doing it. Like, how cool is that? You know, I love it. Anyway, you have a lot of freedom about how to get stuff done. The game doesn't make you into some like weird messianic figure. You're just like a very important political agent. You're literally just called the agent. And overall, since the game is just conducive to doing those things like you want to do, like it just puts really profitable maps on your, like dungeons on your map. Like why not? What kind of Daggerfall player doesn't want more dungeons? You know what I mean? It was like, sign me up. Like I'll take that. It's such a sweet deal. I would really like more potions of healing, man. All right, there's one. Potion of Seeking. Will I need that? Will it work? You know, I'll take it. We'll see. Purification. I don't think I'll have enough gold. I should go back to the pawn shop, I suppose. Buy. Don't have enough gold. Do I have any ingredients to sell? Yeah, I can sell some gems. Orc's Blood, Tooth, Unicorn Horn. You know, let's just sell all this stuff because we're going to liquidate this this gold into actual liquids, potions, very quickly. So let's buy all this stuff up. All right. Where are we? So I've already ranted a bit about Morrowind's main quest, and no, I haven't. I meant that I've talked about Oblivion and Skyrim's main quest, but not Morrowind's. Morrowind still gives you the trope that I don't like that much. It's kind of the founder of this trope in the Elder Scrolls series, in that it makes you into a literal messianic figure. Like that's the whole point of the game, kind of, at least of the main quest. But it does it in a way that I think is pretty elegant. You can choose to participate in the messianic trope, or you get a ton of gold from that. Or I remember someone in a Discord channel was playing Morrowind for the first time, and they had sold the Dwemer puzzle box from Arkanthond, whatever that place is called. Yeah, they sold the puzzle box and were totally soft locked out of the main quest. And like, it sucks for that player. I thought it was pretty hilarious, but I was being, yeah. Anyway, it sucks for that player. Like, that's a negative experience for sure. But how funny is it that this person missed out on being the Messiah just like that? You know, it's like, oops, I'd sold the Dwemer puzzle box and I don't remember who I sold it to, or they sold it a long time ago and the person's like inventory refreshed in such a way that they couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, let's go to Shalgora, and get some, see if they have any potions there. Yeah, I just think the messianic trope is done pretty well in Morrowind, because you can either go out of your way to fulfill the prophecies that are required of the Messiah, or you can ignore them, and either way is like a valid interpretation of those prophecies. And that's pretty baller to me. Like, that's badass. I think that's a good game design choice there. I still don't play it all the time just because it is a bit laborious, but it does a good, Morrowind's main quest does a good job of making you tour the areas. You know, you go to Balmora and it's just cozy as hell. I love the Odai River. And you eventually get sent to Vivec City. This is an unpopular opinion, but I absolutely adore Vivec City. It's flawed for sure, and it can be confusing to foreigners, but I think that's pretty fair. I think most cities are confusing to foreigners. Like, one second. A worried-looking youth approaches you. Excuse me, we have a bit of a problem in our tavern. Some barbarians making a mess of things and refuses to leave. I'm pretty busy, man. Leave me alone. Alright, yeah, so to talk about how cities can be kind of confusing to navigate whenever you're a foreigner, my wife and I, though we are Texans, lived in Denver, Colorado for a couple of years, and my car, although it's easy to steal, something I like about it is that it has like a heads-up display on it. You connect your phone to it, and a map shows up on the little tablet screen there. It's not a Tesla or anything like that. But I thought it helped me out a lot to navigate the new area whenever I did that. And in Denver, you have numbered avenues starting at the south side of town. So you have like First Avenue on the very bottom of the city, and then like 170th Avenue at the north end of the city. And you have all sorts of stuff in between. They're largely laid out logically, but... And we're really spending all our money on these potions. But the streets that run north to south rather than east to west are just like important. They're just names of streets. You'll keep up with them eventually. Like Federal was a really important one, or Sheridan, since I lived on the west side of Denver. Like, that was an important road for me. And so by learning those, like, it's confusing at first. My wife still hates the way that those that streets infrastructure was handled, with some good reason. But I think I got used to the grid system well enough that I learned to navigate Denver pretty well, even without needing the GPS. Although many times I would try to go without the GPS and end up making a damn fool of myself. Sorry about that, Kaylin. Besides that, Vivec City is kind of a chance to paralyze you. So if you're cornered by a ghoul in a tabletop role-playing game, like, good luck, man. Might not be making it out of that one alive. Actually, one of the first OSR games I played, it was in the Dolmenwood setting, and I played, I think, My first character was a dwarf or some sort of like more setting specific equivalent of a dwarf, and I got paralyzed by a ghoul in one of the first encounters. Thankfully, I didn't die, like I didn't get a lethal attack, but my comrades did have to drag my paralyzed body back to town while they like helped attend my wounds and waited for the paralysis to wear off. Actually, I think in that dungeon there was this like slime that made things kind of float in a way. So instead of dragging my body back to town, they coated me in that float slime and tied a rope to me, and they pulled me back to town as if it's some sort of balloon. Like I was some sort of balloon and they're going to the carnival or something. It was a lot of fun. It's those kinds of wacky predicaments that make me love old school games. It's like you really have to think, oh, we have a lever here. Really have to think outside the box and think about like what kind of resources are at your disposal to accomplish a task, rather than looking at your character sheet and thinking like, oh, I have like cure paralysis, boom, crisis averted. I've talked before about how much I think resource depletion is a fair, like a really cool part of role-playing game design, but oh man, this is scary. My torch went out whenever I'm fighting this zombie. Oh man. Hopefully, okay, I got him. I don't like to, unless I'm actively running away from combat, I don't like digging into your inventory to light a like a source. Like I can't. Oh, I found a magical wand. That's cool. I can't imagine that your character can feasibly fist fight a zombie and light a new torch at the same time. There are times whenever I'm kind of cornered and I'm running away, and at that point I'll light a torch. But yeah, I don't like doing it outside of that. Let's go ahead and light this lantern as a reminder that like I was here, there's stuff to be done here, that sort of thing. There's two switch levers. We mark this one also, I guess. Teleporter? I don't think so. Oh, look. You can tell, oh, there's a lever back here that we need to activate. This is risky. Like, I always feel like I'm going to get squished whenever I do this. Is this truly what's happening? Let's activate it and run. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we don't need to hit that lever just yet. What's the right way to do this? Is there a way to get around to the other side that I've found yet? Let's see. Come up from below, possibly. Alright, let's see if we can come up from below. Wait, is my health going down or up? I keep seeing action there. I think it's my restore health happening. Let's look at my health value. 58. After it gets pinged again, we'll check on it and see if it's gone up or down. Alright, come along, my zombie friend. Okay, well now my my idea of waiting to see if my health is increasing or decreasing is out the window. Value has changed. We're washed. It's over for us, bros. Oh damn. This is dicier than I was expecting. Like, I'm so cocky about this dungeon that I'm not paying very close attention to my health rate and stuff. Let's go ahead and use a couple bandages, because we should not have been, you know, brought that close to death by these weak monsters. That was just carelessness. Man, I wish I could train my archery some. Would be a really good time for it. And due to the nature of the enemies here, it's not likely that I find a bow laying around. We have to evacuate. One silver lining will be the ability to go back and get a bow from town. Okay, this looks like a place I've already been to. Or did someone else just kill all those rats? Open portcullis thing. Let's go ahead and light one of these lanterns just to indicate that I've been here. Yeah, let's do this one too. Kind of thinking about setting up shop and resting here for a bit, but oh, a lever. These are not the levers that I'm referring to whenever I say that, like, finding the lever means that you're close to the objective. There's a specific room that has about 3 levers in it, and this is always what telegraphs to me, like, hey man, you've almost found her, keep it up. Alright, well, we know what this lever goes to, so I'm going to mark this as the, can I edit the note? I think I can, yeah. This goes to the portcullis lever. Yep, there we go. Alright. Let's see what we can find. More zombies. This looks like a dead end. No, it's not a dead end. We can bypass that, go up here. No real reason to fight those guys. Oh, look, we found the other side. Oh, man. So, little, full disclosure here. The last 20 seconds you've been watching have been like a different day than the beginning of this dungeon. I totally forgot that I strategized about going down and then back up. And, yeah, we fulfillment of the plan here on day 2 of the dungeon. So, let's see what this... Oh, here. Is that a drafty door I'm hearing? No? Okay. So does this push the... Oh, it brings the wall in. It's gonna kill me? Okay, no, it does not. Kind of weird to have a switch like that, but we will get in position to do this and then run and not die. I'm pretty sure if you get stuck in that wall, you'll get killed. I'm not exactly sure, like not 100%, but if you're like 1 pixel in the way of an elevator that's descending, it'll kill you instantly. Because like I guess your sprite is in a bad spot, and I feel like the same thing would happen in this situation. Okay, this is a dead end. I mean, going north over there is a dead end. Do we go back down? Okay, if we go back down, yeah, we do have a different corridor to check out, but it looks like it's leading back to this block, which I don't think we need to go toward. Although, man, it's hard to say at this point which the right way is. Let's go... Yeah, let's go westward and then take a... and then go northward once we get back to this dirt area. Sounds like a plan. We're getting a little low on stamina, so we'll need to set up shop pretty soon. Set up camp. Yeah, let's go ahead and use a bit of oil in our... Are we using a torch right now? Yeah, we are. Okay, if I'm able to get through here, this would be a good place to rest. Little horde of rats. Free meat. You'll hear my Windows sound effect also. It's telling me something happened. Alright, Origin of the Mages Guild. Easy sell. Yeah, we don't want to risk getting our stamina too low, so we're going to sleep in here with all the rat corpses. That's good timing. Our torch just flickered and died. Yeah, let's see if I can, cook the raw meat. We will rest until fully healed. And maybe the raw meat, stealth, dodging, running, hand-to-hand, and critical strike. Alright. Maybe the raw meat will give us a bit of a stamina boost. Let's go ahead and switch over to our lantern. Let's use the meat. Alright, we're back in action. Yeah, I was recording this yesterday, and there have been a couple of times where, although I can't tell in the moment, like, because I have headphones on, like, my son has recently woken up and has proceeded to start, like, screaming his head off as, like, he's, like, in the next room, and I'll listen to the audio later, and I'll be like, oh my god, this is horribly jarring, and I can't get rid of it. It's on the same, like, audio track as my microphone. It's pretty tricky sometimes because of the way the noise gate works. Like, it won't pick up very slight noises unless, like, a certain amount of decibels is being outputted, or inputted, rather. But... if my voice has already reached that threshold, the noise gate is opened, and then those quieter sounds, like my baby crying in the next room, will still be caught. And so, like, I've sometimes wondered, like, oh, will they really notice it? And, you know, I determined that yes, they would, and I just cut out that bit of audio. And That's why every now and then in an episode you'll just have complete silence with me like not even offering any chatter. Like if that happens, it's a safe bet that Hudson woke up and made noise, but I didn't notice it and I didn't want to cut out any of the video. You know, it puts me in a weird situation to say the least. I don't want to risk you all hearing that though, because if any of you are parents, you might be like me and like your hair stands on end whenever you hear a child screaming. It's, you know, it awakens a sort of primitive instinct within us that like there's danger near, there's trouble afoot, like my people need me, that sort of thing. It awakens like I would call it anxiety, but I feel like that's like a somewhat different connotation than what I'm going for. But it awakens some sort of survival instinct in us. So yeah, I just play it safe. I try to remove any Hudson screams like at all possible. Thank me later. Yeah, I wish I could record only whenever he's like not in the house, so I wouldn't have this consideration. But that then I would never record, you know, once in a blue moon. Speaking of which, there was one time where I was going to try streaming. So I was like, you know, it would be a lot of fun to talk to my people like in the flesh, live action. And so there's this weekend where my wife and Hudson were going out of town to spend time with their friends. And I was like, okay, well, this is the time whenever I can try out streaming. I didn't like broadcast it or advertise it at all because like, what if I suck at it and there's tech issues the whole time, you know? But I was going to try it out. And so Saturday morning, I woke up and got everything ready. Or I guess I should say I was braced to do it on Saturday. But Friday night, I went to go do like a test stream and then found out that you have to like wait 24 hours after requesting to stream before YouTube will let you do that. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're not streaming this weekend. So it was that easy. That's to say though that like, you know, sometime in the future, if that situation comes up again where Halen and Hudson, my wife and son, are out of town, yeah, I'll just try to figure out some streaming so we can all hang out. It'll be a bit tricky though, like if I've recorded an episode that has not been released, how would I stream this game to you, you know? I might just use a different character in that situation or play Morrowind or something. I actually haven't been playing many video games besides Daggerfall for these recordings. Like I mentioned previously that I was working on playing Morrowind because I have video ideas and stuff like that, but I've really been focusing on just like spending some quality time with my wife. It was her birthday last week, and so I made sure to not let my like my love for RPGs, video games, and overall stimulation like, oh dang, I forgot this was a weak monster. It kind of scared me. Anyway, I just focused on spending a lot of time with Kaylin, and it was really, really nice. So who knows if I'll ever get around to actually playing Morrowind. As it turns out, I like my wife, and I like spending time with her. Oh, she expressed some interest in playing some tabletop role-playing also, which was awesome. We've been playing we've been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender as we do, like, cyclically, basically. And so... Actually, I think before watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, I was just going through like this binder I have full of like old RPG materials that I don't want to throw away. It's like you never know whenever you'll want to use it again. I wonder if can I light this? Weird. Oh, this is from Kleptomania, not Darker Dungeons. I think that's why I can't interact with the candelabra. Anyway, I found this little the bare bones system of a role-playing game that really minimalist and simple that I made up like a couple years ago to make characters in the Last Airbender universe. And oh, dude, this zombie's actually got hands. There we go. Let's do some bandages. Yeah. Oh, here's the lever room, y'all. This is what I was talking about. Okay. Lever room. Yeah, basically, I was going through that binder just while we were hanging out in the living room together, and I mentioned this thing to her, which I guess I had never brought up before, and she was like, "Oh, that sounds awesome. We should play it sometime. We should get my my sister and her husband along to play this game together." And I'm like, "Oh, shoot. Okay, I guess playing tabletop RPGs with my wife is back on the menu." So that's cool. The system is pretty clunky right now. I did some playtesting last night, and I wasn't entirely satisfied with it. Like, I could follow it. It uses like a dice pool system like you might have seen in Shadowrun. I try to make it simplified, but you can only simplify something complex. Oh, look. Found it. I'm worried that there might be enemies around here. I think there usually are some in their chamber, but okay, it's just a zombie. Let's take care of this guy, and I'll keep on rambling. Actually, I can keep on rambling while I fight him. Yeah, the RPG would use a dice pool system. So whenever you're engaging in combat, you can choose to commit a certain amount of dice to get an edge in combat, or you can use those dice for defense or something like that. There were way too many dice to keep track of, so I'm going to have to rethink the system I was using in the aim of simplicity here. But look, we have, I think his name is Skemat. You Skemat? Oh, what? Dude, Skemat doesn't want to talk to me. I've heard of you, nothing good, of course. Get lost. Damn. If you weren't aware, this in the original game, this dragon was not here. It was like an asset that was in the game's files, I believe, that was not included in the final version of it. But I believe Cliffworms mod, the famous Faces of the Iliac Bay, restores it to the game. I could be wrong, but that's what my gut tells me. All right, Nulfaga, what you got for me? Choosing out few words most horrible, let none of them read. Verses frame which with and other spells like terribly curses heaven. Curse oblivion, my boy is dead, and let's Tamriel tremble until he and I findeth peace denied. Shut up the door to his tomb and my home. That's kind of a clue to the password up front, by the way. I'm on the fence about whether or not I'll use it next time, because it's near the end of the game where she's like, oh, by the way, here's the password, basically. She's not explicitly telling you the password, but we have heard the phrase now. Anyway, I think that's enough. Like, Abakai just wanted us to check on her, right? Talk to her to see if she is well. I have 150 days to report her condition. Alright, let's just try to talk to her again and see. Alright, nothing there. He doesn't even want to talk to us. I wish I could show you his portrait. It's pretty cool, but whatever. Alright, well, we did it, y'all. That's pretty cool. Let's do a little bit of climbing in her room here. Oh. How embarrassing would it be just to die from fall damage after getting to the quest target like that? I really gotta be careful. Get a little bit of healing in before we head out. This was an oddly brief trot through Shedungeon. I wish I knew the true path, like the quickest way here. But I don't think I do. You know, the first question is, do you go left or right whenever you start? It looks like it didn't touch the left path very much, but that does not mean that it was incorrect to go to the left. I don't know, man. We got there. That's all that matters. It's a magically held lock. Command me. Yeah, okay. For the content. I'm just kidding. I do this all the time after getting to Nulfaga for the first time. Okay. Yeah, cool. Well, we completed our first main quest. We still have quite a few days left before we are needed. So I wonder... Oh, we should go to Coegria and pick up our bow that I foolishly left there. Alright, yeah, let's just travel overland. Yeah, so my wife hasn't had any interest in tabletop RPGs for a very, very long time. But there was a time whenever we were just boyfriend and girlfriend and things were all fresh and new, and I guess she wanted to like do things that I cared about a little bit more, you know. You have a bit more incentive to do it whenever the relationship is younger. Hold on, I got a parchment. The Cartographers Association, Coegria, nerds, no thank you. Yeah, that's not entirely true, the thing I was saying about the relationship, but maybe she just had more of an interest in RPGs back then. But I had this, back whenever I only knew about 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and no other RPG systems, I made a homebrew version of 5th edition called Ammomancy. It was, it's like a classless system where you use just like a certain amount of character points, I think I called them power points, to purchase the ability scores you wanted and the skills you wanted, and things like that. And yeah, it allowed you to have extremely diverse characters without having to confine yourself to a certain character class and multi-classing and stuff like that, and it still felt very balanced and fun. So yeah, there was one campaign where Before I knew about dungeon crawling and hex crawls and emergent narrative quite so much, I would, just I would write quests. That's what you do, right? And so I wrote this long overarching quest about saving the Wu-Tang Clan from a parasitic overlord that had like taken up basically kidnapped all the pertinent members of Wu-Tang Clan and replaced them with some synthetic mutants that were impersonating them. It was really fun. As much as I love the style of games I play these days, it was like a lot of unabashed fun to play those kinds of wacky stories out sometimes. But Amomancy was this modern fantasy setting that I just could not get enough of, and honestly, I still love that urban fantasy feeling. I haven't really created an RPG like Amomancy that works well for an OSR system. I think I have kind of like a bare bones system in place that would OSRify Amomancy, but oh, it's the Fighters Guild. That's right. My bow's at the Fighters Guild. I haven't actually tested it out though, but a comment thread from a previous video reminded me about this because it was really fun playing Amomancy with my wife and it's my best friend at the time. Just 2 players and me thugging it out. It was really fun. Getting dizzy from the heat. Oh yeah, let's just go shirtless. But yeah, a comment thread in the last video, we were talking about Yu Yu Hakusho, and unbeknownst to this viewer, sorry I can't remember the username off the top of my head, but yeah, unbeknownst to this viewer, I just absolutely adore Yu Yu Hakusho, particularly like everything leading up to the Dark Tournament. And I think a lot of people talk about the Dark Tournament as if it's like the peak of the anime, and that's a very fair point. But I actually think that every like individual saga leading up to that is like perfection also. Like even starting from whenever Yusuke is trying to get back into his body, and you have what's that guy's name? Kuwabara, same voice actor as Vegeta, by the way, who's just like, "You're a Meshi," and they're getting into fights after school, but he can't fight back. And they have the bit where they go to some tower and they fight some demons that you might find in Shin Megami Tensei games also. And it's like a really classic dungeon crawl too. It's pretty cool. What other saga is there that's really good? Oh yeah, I wanted... This reminded me of Amomancy a little bit because games like Shin Megami Tensei and anime like... see, you have my bow? Sure do. And anime like Yu Yu Hakusho really, really is what makes these modern fantasy games so evocative for me. And I remember specifically there's this bit where there are some insects from the underworld in Yu Yu Hakusho that are out biting people and turning them into zombies. And so like while Yusuke is off trying to find the cause of the issue and fix it, Botan, the blue-haired lady, is wearing like this leather jacket with a baseball bat in the town trying to fight off all these zombies. And like, yeah, that was a really formative memory in my childhood. I still have a soft spot for Botan. She's so cool. And Yu Yu Hakusho in general. There's also the arc where Yusuke is training under Genkai, or there's that tournament leading up to him being Genkai's pupil. It's just every bit. I know the Dark Tournament gets a lot of focus, and it is a really good section of the show, but I swear, every little bit of Yu Yu Hakusho is just like leading up to the Dark Tournament and through it. It's just fantastic. Yeah, it really inspired my my love for settings like Amomancy. If you haven't played Shin Megami Tensei, it has a very similar aesthetic where you're just like walking around Tokyo in 1990X whenever all hell breaks loose, like really literally. That's the part of the concept is hell's breaking loose. And yeah, it's almost like a first-person dungeon crawler like Wizardry or Bard's Tale. But it's, yeah, your party, while it has human allies, you also go around recruiting demons and like adding them to your list of allies and fusing them to make stronger ones. And like the idea of just roaming around Tokyo in 1990X, it becomes post-apocalyptic very quickly, and you have like a machine gun or a Spaz 12 and a bunch of demons that you're fighting against the other hordes of demons with. Like there's something so incredibly evocative about like the Famicom Shin Megami Tensei game that just it's just like yeah, it's probably not as stimulating as some games, but it's still like damn near perfect in my mind. Except sometimes my save game will get corrupted and ruin my day. I think I got to the cathedral like the the very last dungeon in that game one time, and like something bugged out, and I was like, well, shit. I guess I'm not completing my second playthrough. Okay, focusing. We're back at Castle Daggerfall, and we're reporting to Abakai, and she says, I confess I doubted I would ever see you again. Your news that Nulfaga is still among the living does my heart much good. Here is your left pauldron. Yo, alright. Moment of Truth. Is this something that buffs us whenever we wear it, or is it a cast when used? Aw, dude, it's a cast when used. That sucks. Alright, well, we need to get the wand identified, and I guess we're getting this leather left pauldron identified also. That should give us... We burned a lot of money traveling and buying potions, and we actually didn't spend many potions because the enemies were fairly weak. So this should give us a bit of capital to sit on. Very nice. Where's the Mage's Guild? That looks like it over here. Alright, yeah, I just gotta tweak my my lightweight avatar RPG system. Oh, that's the Knights of the Dragon or something. My avatar RPG system to make it a bit more accessible. Because, yeah, a little too crunchy whenever I was playing it last night. I've been really into the idea of game design, though. You've probably heard me rant in my previous videos about map making and things like that. And while it does take a while to get into the mood to do that sort of thing, it's very rewarding once you have like gotten yourself into the mentality that you're going to sit, give yourself a break from blue light, and just create something for a while. Yeah, I've got to work on some like encounter tables and things like this to play some Worlds Without Number in a solo RPG capacity. Yeah, I think someone in a previous video talked about Morkborg as a solo RPG. Morkborg is a great game. Like, I love the books. I've never actually played it, but I think Worlds Without Number, it makes a good shell for a solo RPG game because the characters in it are generally a bit more powerful than what you'll find in other OSR type games. Like, they have, even if you whiff, you might do shock damage through melee, which is like a baseline of damage that your weapon applies based on certain things. So even if you whiff, you still get some damage and can kill weaker enemies from it. You have like skills that you can use that give a bit more definition to your character without needing the open-endedness of, like, you know, in BX and other OSR games there aren't any skills, which I think is a good thing, but whenever you're playing a solo RPG, you have less interaction between the game master and yourself, and so I think skills are pretty helpful there for the sake of facilitating that sort of discussion. I guess it's not discussion whenever you're playing by yourself, but I hope you can kind of get what I'm putting down there. Okay, let's get these identified. It's going to be 216, that's fine. A Wand of Good Luck. Cast when held. And Pauldron of Wild. I never considered that a wand would be cast when held. So I can just equip this? Excuse me, sir. Why is it just taking me to my menu whenever... What if I go to use? This is weird. What if I try to... Okay, I'm equipping that. Oh no, I just used some durability on it. That's a little unfortunate. It's weird that the wand won't let me equip it. Is it because I need to... Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what's happening with that, but I don't really care. I was gonna sell it anyway, because, like, even if it does give you a benefit, like, that's passive, it just seems like such a beta male thing to do for my pugilist to walk around with a magic wand that grants him luck. Are you kidding me? No. It's not for us. In a similar vein of solo RPGs, I was watching some YouTube channel where somebody was discussing how it could be nice to have a GM emulator like you use with solo RPGs, but with a system designed for 1 or 2 players. I'm wondering if I could con my wife into doing something like that. I've done some similar antics that did not involve a solo RPG with a GM emulator. But back in the day, me and this same aforementioned best friend were we were like at the tail end of our college. I guess it was after we had both graduated from college, and a lot of our friends that we played 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons with had already moved away from our college town, but we were kind of left behind a bit. We're like, well, we can't just like stop playing, right? And so we decided to take turns being dungeon masters for a campaign, and we would. I guess I should explain that it's kind of complicated the way we ended up doing it, but you'll see where I get my love for Iron Man playthroughs a little bit from the story here. So we both made characters that were, what are they called? The like fighter mages in 5th edition. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. But they are the fighting subclass that get to choose some spells from the evocation and alteration, so they can basically cast like damaging and protecting spells. Like they're explicitly like war magic, basically. Alright, we got a pretty good payout from these magic items. But I didn't like the idea of like how it forces you to choose from these two schools of magic, so me and my buddy, we both made these Eldritch Knights. I think that's what they're called, something like that. But we would choose which two schools of magic we would be limited to, and I chose like illusion and enchantment, and like focused on kind of guile and stealth, and ended up with a pretty interesting character. He had like a boomerang that he would throw around as his primary weapon. He's like a halfling with a boomerang his size. It kind of resembled that person from Inuyasha who has a big ass boomerang, but he was a little person. But yeah, we kind of, as a joint effort, we came up with like what the setting what the setting would be. There's a volcanic island with an evil wizard at the center of it. Like, what's not to love? Big ass tower at the center of it, and stuff's going wrong, of course. And we would play like a couple of sessions with, let's say, my buddy Gabe being the dungeon master, and during that phase, he would let me make the pertinent decisions, but his character would participate in combat and such. And then there would be times, like whenever his little narrative arc would conclude and we'd made meaningful progress, that I would write the next section of the adventure, and his character would make the main decisions, and my character would just tag along and, you know, help in fights and conflicts and stuff like that. Okay, I was checking on my affiliations to see if our rank had decreased much. We should make sure Abakai doesn't have another quest for us. What'd she say? Bogard, I did not know even how to broach the subject. I need you to promise me on your ancestors' honor that you will do what you can to help me and never breathe or say what you say to anyone else. Sorry. Never breathe of what I say or what you see to anyone else anywhere. Will you swear? Times like this, I don't know if this is like part of the main quest, but it seems like the thing to do would be nice to the royalty, so that's what we'll do. Yeah, go ahead, Abakai. I will trust you then, Bogard. The matter concerns my mother-in-law, the Dowager Queen of Daggerfall and widow of Lysandus, Minisera. As mistress of the household finances, I have noticed that she has been paying for the upkeep of a fortress called Castle Necromogan, complete with a large platoon of soldiers. A short while ago, she disappeared with a wrapped parcel of papers and came back days later with empty hands. She has recently left again with another parcel of letters, and my spies have verified that she has gone to Castle Necromogan. You will have to trust that my suspicion of her activities is justifiable, for I am not in a position to offer proof. What I need for you to do is go to Castle Necromogan and find that parcel of letters and any other information about her activities there. Minisera will be returning in 13 days. You cannot have any more time than that, I fear. That's interesting. I thought it was 9 days the last time I did this quest. So this is indeed a major, a main quest. And I kind of blundered with it the last time I did the quest, but I think this is one of the dungeons I know pretty well. We'll see if the quest items are like consistent here. But yeah, I think we'll just go, since we didn't burn many you know what, I was gonna say like we can go straight there, but we really should play it safe, act like we're playing an Iron Man run, and like get some potions. We should be diligent and not complacent. Yeah. Yeah, so my buddy Gabe and I, we were taking turns as Eldritch Knights and as Dungeon Masters. The really highly cozy setting also. Like, I remember one rainy day outside, we were having a restful moment, and I was playing an NPC who was like giving some lore about the information. And, you know, whenever it's raining outside and you want it to be raining in the game, just do it, you know? It feels good. Don't be afraid. It's free action will be good, stamina will be good. I'd like some weak potions of healing also. So eventually, my and Gabe's characters, we got to the tower at the center of the island. We started climbing it, and we'd eventually fight the evil wizard. We had a lot of like ape imagery also, because apes are really cool. And yeah, we would the way we determined it is like whenever we were coming up with the stats for the final boss, we rolled who would decide the stats for phase 1, 1 and 3, and then who would decide the stats for phase 2, which is a little imbalanced, but the fight would go on a little bit too long if there were like 4 phases, you know what I mean? And actually, I think there was a phase where we were just fighting Avito, who's the necromancer or the evil wizard character. But yeah, we'd eventually, like, Avito was being used by some, like, I don't honestly remember the lore very well, but it was some big-ass ape monster that would be able to, like, travel between dimensions and stuff. Fun stuff. Castle, Necro, Moog. Yeah. Way up north. Let's go ahead and travel recklessly since we're on a pretty strict time limit. So it was a pretty fair fight, I would say. We had a lot of our resources to burn whenever we got there, and this guy, I swear, this enemy had like 150 hit points, and yeah, what should we use here? Is it worth to use our magical items? I don't think it is. Okay, let's go in. Yeah, the ape started with like 150 hit points or something like that, and then once it would reach certain HP thresholds, it would transform into... Oh! What was that? Is it a wraith? What are you? Enemy expansion, don't kill me, please. Okay, Necromancer Glavier. Wow, that was kind of scary, man. Shit, okay. Anyway, whenever we were taking quite the beating in the campaign, and eventually, after getting down the enemy down, like the boss down to like 9 HP, we were both killed, and that was the end of the campaign. You know, that's it. There's no re-rolling that. We don't fudge dice here. We're both dungeon masters who respect each other, and so we're not gonna be like, oh well, we deserved it, and that totally mitigates the tension. So we just didn't do that. Yeah, our campaign was over. And we died glorious deaths. We had a really good run of it and had a ton of fun leading up to it. So it was a successful campaign, if you ask me. But yeah, this is why dying in Iron Man runs is okay. It's just part of it, you know? I think we passed it up, actually. Let me go back down the chute. No, maybe not. Okay, let's go back up. I think I might have mentioned this whenever I was recording yesterday, but with like dungeons that I actually remember pretty well, I'm a bit torn about, like, do I explore the dungeon as if my character does not know where the item is, or do I go straight to the item because I know where it is? I think I've settled on going straight to the item because I know where it is. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, threw that Necromancer Assassin to her death. That's awesome. Oh no, this is not awesome. Vampire, it's actually terrifying. Oh, okay, heal true, heal true. Okay, that was awful. Okay, okay. I clearly don't know where the item is. I thought I would have found it by now. Shit, I was not expecting a vampire in this dungeon. This is a really good looking sprite. Like, the attack animation looks fluid. Like, that's awesome. I keep stealing it. Yeah, I thought I knew where the item was, but I guess it's not consistent, or I have overlooked it. Or I need to go through this doorway. Okay, okay. Yeah, we have to run past the vampire. There's a vampire ancient also, dude. Yeah, we're about to have to. Okay. Do we risk getting near this guy even, or do we just warp out of here? Dude, we only have 13 days. We're kind of in it. All right. Okay, resist shock and run past. Okay, am I? Yeah, I went. Don't get hit by a sleep spell. Turn right. Nope, turn the other way. Wait, no, I was turning right. Gosh. Healing. Oh, don't hit me with a sleep spell, please. Don't hit me with a sleep spell. Okay, okay. Okay. Yikes. That was terrifying, y'all. I got in over my head in seconds flat. This is, yeah, coming to Castle Necromogon, I guess, was questionable. Maybe the enemies are somewhat scaled to your level here. I thought that, that they were not in main quest dungeons, but I think I remember someone telling me that it's a mixture of, like, scaled enemies and unleveled. But, like, what level am I to be spawning vampires? I'm only level 4, so this must be... This is Moodex at work. I see you, Ralzar. But you're not going to have the satisfaction, buddy, alright? Proceeds to get the satisfaction. We'll see. Yeah, I really thought that that chute right there that leads upward was it. But maybe it's a bit further down. Is there a chute up here? Oh man, I'm completely turned around. Okay, okay, that's dangerous. Saved versus spell, that's good, but it's alarming. What did I... Oh, wait, what? Yeah, I think I've got to come back here later. Only have 13 days though, man. Oh, you know what I could do? Let's go over here and use a potion of seeking and see if we get any hits. East and higher. Okay. POS, east, higher. And where is east? Yep, yep. This checks out. This is where I expected it to be. Let's look at our map. So we go up the chute. I personally thought that there was like a different little side. Like there were 2 different paths to take while ascending, and one of them would lead to the items, but I must be incorrect about that. How long this potion lasts. It'll give us enough time to... Really just want to kick this vampire into the pit. Okay, okay, okay. Purification looks like our only choice here. Okay, I actually have a better idea. Let's leave. Yeah, so... Minisera's Letters, it's a quest that we're on. It's actually an optional quest. And so by failing it, as we are currently in the act of doing right now, because the enemies are too tough, the time limit is too close. By failing it, we are going to take a pretty bad negative hit with Daggerfall, or at least the royalty in Daggerfall, or Queen Abakai. But you know what? They can take their reputation and stuff it. I'm not going to die to get some damn letters back, so... let's get a little rest in. Might as well rest for, like, sleep in. Oh, I packed it up. Damn it. I meant to sleep in. Okay. Where are we? We are in Daggerfall, Daggerfall. What if we just travel, like, I want to do some Thieves Guild questing before going to Wayrest to, help Princess Morgaya. I think... After all the main quest dungeoning we've done today, we can unwind a bit just by doing some Thieves Guild questing. So, yeah, you know what, let's set up camp and just rest until morning. I feel well rested. All right, we got some nice level ups out of it, if nothing else. And yeah, with some hope that we are not inflicted with vampirism, we will just do some relaxing overland travel. This looks like a... Singmoth is right here on the border. I found out, or I guess I read this more recently, that traveling cautiously while using travel options will decrease the odds of being ambushed by an enemy, and traveling recklessly will not... you're more likely if you travel recklessly. Let's go cautiously for now. I don't think we have any good reason right now to, like, be in a hurry. We don't really care to hunt a flock of birds. By the way, if this landscape kills me, we're just gonna reload. Like, I'm not gonna let fast travel kill me. Like, my character obviously would not have intentionally just ridden his horse to his death. Rode his horse? He would not have ridden. I think that's right. The old past participle situation. Yeah, another thing that my wife and I have been doing that's been a lot of fun is playing the, I was about to call it Wii Sports, but it's really like a Switch Sports game. Have y'all seen this? It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like you're playing Wii Sports, but it's like on the Nintendo Switch, and it has games like, what is it? We played tennis and volleyball, and we play golf if we want to get really super tilted. But you have these like little emojis that you unlock that you can dress up your character with, and we role play. We like LARP whenever we play that game as these really pissed off, tilted, sweaty people. It's like we'll join the lobby and instantly start doing the disrespectful emotes, and it never really stops. We'll find clever ways to sneak in little angry emotes like right before serving in tennis or something like that. It's a pretty good time. Let's see. We're looking for the Thieves Guild, but it looks like there is not a Thieves Guild in this town, so we're just going to find a nice place to rest. Yeah, our stamina is dropping really fast because we have not had a proper meal. We're just staying alive on rations. And I was gonna say our gold supply is kind of low, but it really isn't. We're at 1200. We should keep an eye out for alchemists now that we're in this town, though. So let's, the hell is this layout? Let's find our bartender, get a little bit of food going. Hey man, yeah, can I get some, yeah, pork sausage, let's do it. I've been really into stouts lately. Do we have any stouts? No, I'll get some ale, alright, yeah. Yeah, sometimes beer will give me a headache, so I'm trying to find the right balance of a beer that I like that will not cause me any duress. It's already evening, shit. Use some more oil too. Okay, let's go ask around, see if we can't find... Can't believe it got so dark so fast. Yo. Hey lady, can you point me toward the alchemist? The essential alchemist. They have just one in this town. That's to the northeast. Can you put it up on my map, please? Thank you. Okay. I want to sprint there so badly, but I know that like I'm just gonna kill someone, or at least assault them. I think it's just an assault charge whenever you do that. Okay. It's officially nighttime, so I think we can sprint without any issue. It's kind of tempting to start breaking some doors down since like our reputation in Daggerfall is already going to be kind of bad because of what happened. I'm actually not sure how this reputation works out whenever we're failing a quest for Abakai. Does that affect our reputation in the entire region or just with her? You know what I mean? Not really sure about that. Heal true, healing. Yeah, there's some good finds. Thank you. Got on this shelf. You already have enough free action. Yeah, I have plenty of free action. I say that now. Cure disease. I think I burned one whenever I got hit by a rat in one of those dungeons, so we'll go ahead and pick that up. Alright, thanks. Have a good night. Be courteous to these folks. Okay. Light up one of my torches. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of Destination Fever stuff in this episode, so I think now that we've reached the tail end of things, we have all the death, I was going to say death threats, but all the threats of dying behind us. We can kind of take things easy and do some overland travel, restock on our supplies and stuff like that. So, hey buddy, yeah, can I get another, oh, a port, sure. Room, yep. Okay, it's kind of early, but it's like awkward. What do you do at night except for maybe I'll rest for like 9 hours and then no, the city gates will still be closed. That's uncomfortable. Hey, the rest was excellent. Hey, lady. Oh, I think that's the no nudity mod. I'm pretty sure that this bra that she's wearing is new. I could be wrong. Alright, alright, alright. Had a couple of excellent rests. Go ahead and get a little bit of a, yeah, royal breakfast plate. We're rich. Why not? Alright, and we're pretty close to the gate. That's convenient. We'll go to the next town and see if there's a thieves guild there. If there is not, we might end up doing a little bit of fast traveling, but like overland, not overland, the opposite of overland travel. I guess you know what I mean. Yeah, let's see if we can find the road and just follow that, see where it takes us. Once upon a time, my friend that I play OSR games with pointed out to me that, oh, look at this. This is interesting. They have some gems on the ground. Looks like a monk. Wonder what happened here. They killed a gargoyle or something. Anyway, a friend of mine pointed out this this manga that feels kind of like an OSR game, like an old school D&D game called Dungeon Meshi. And I was pretty into it for a while, but I didn't read very far. And yeah, evidently this has recently been published on Netflix, an anime adaptation called Delicious in Dungeon, and like it's honestly a super charming show. I like it especially because like my wife doesn't want to watch anime all the time. We've watched all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and she's like a really big fan of Cowboy Bebop. But outside of that, it's like really hard to find an anime that suits her tastes. Because like we would watch something like Attack on Titan, and then you watch Eren Yeager's mom get eaten by this giant monster in the first episode, and she's like, "Yeah, why are we watching this?" Yeah, but Dungeon Meshi, it's like it's so cool. It pretends to be like I guess on the surface it looks like your typical show that kind of tries to imitate a dungeon crawler, like you know, all the isekais like you see. It doesn't try to be an isekai, but it looks, I guess what I'm trying to say, like a shonen on the surface. But as you watch it, it ends up being something like a cooking show. Yeah, you have these people venturing into like this mega dungeon essentially, and in order to get to their target without having to resurface all the time, to like restock and stuff, they just resolve to start eating the monsters, and they run into some dwarf who's really knowledgeable about cooking monsters, and it's just so cool. It's a beautiful little show. We're only a few episodes deep, so I'm excited. That's like one of the favorite things to do once Hudson goes to sleep these days. Watch a couple episodes of Dungeon Meshi and see how it inspires me and stuff like that. The last episode I watched had the concept of living armor in it, and the guy that's always obsessed with eating armor is like, oh, not eating armor, eating monsters, like says, how would we eat this armor? And everybody's like, bro, it's metal, what are you talking about? And yeah, they end up eating the armor anyway. I won't spoil it, but it's a really cool, like from a dungeon master's perspective, it's really interesting what the writer comes up with for these monsters. And it really does represent like the old school Mega Dungeon style of play pretty well, I think. I haven't really played a lot of Mega Dungeons explicitly, but you have roaming factions. These orcs are wanting to like protect their settlement and not tell the adventurers where they hide out, and like as more powerful monsters roam around, it pushes other sections of the ecosystem away into other sections of the dungeon, and this causes its own conflict. You know, it's really neat. I think it's something that dungeon masters could learn from. Okay, I'm getting kind of tired of using my bow on these guys, so I'm just gonna try to close the gap and get in here with the fisticuffs. I thought about just riding past them, but it actually would be more appropriate, I think, to stop and fight the hostiles sometimes. This guy has a Deja heart. I'll take his cloak too. Wow, this was a pretty good haul. She had some jewelry and some gems. What about these? Just getting my arrows back. That's fine by me. Potion of levitation. Yeah, for free 99, I'll take it, man. Ah, my stomach's rumbling. Let's see how far we are from the next civilization. Like, damn, dude. Yeah, I'm tempted just to travel. Where would we want to travel in Shalgora? Also, what's my reputation? I feel like I might have robbed this place before. No, I'm still considered just a citizen, so that's good. Yeah, let's take the easy way out here and travel to Shalgora, Shalgora, the old capital city. So nice they named it twice. We improved dodging, hand-to-hand, and archery. We got all the combat skills that we could, except maybe critical strike. But yeah, let's see. It's a capital city, so we should have some thieves guild. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm considering getting some training from the thieves guild since, as we saw just a few moments ago, like I felt like I was on top of the world just because I have 97 HP, but whenever that comes to fighting like actually strong monsters like vampires and ancient vampires, it's still really likely that I get killed in one hit. So doing some training would be a way of like liquidating some of this cash that we have on us, and it would advance us a little bit closer to our next level. So here's the place. Before taking the quest, let's go ahead and go upstairs and talk to a trainer and see if there's anything worth grabbing. Let's see. Let me look at my character sheet actually and see. So medical and stealth and lockpicking are all very close to being my #1 minor skill. That's really interesting. Because normally I feel like I have just one minor skill that I focus on, and this lets me level up a bit more consistently with that. But what if we try to keep like medical, stealth, and lockpicking kind of close to one another? Yeah, I think lockpicking might be pretty practical for us anyway. It would, whenever we are like breaking down doors at night, it could allow us to not have to, you know, kick it down, but instead pick the lock. So that would be cool. We got our training in lockpicking. It was only 585 gold, so we have some money in our pocket still. Don't we? 218. All right. Journeyman, can you spare an hour or two? Yesterday I sent someone to rob a house in town and he hasn't come back. I hope nothing bad happened. Yeah, I'll help you out. So, Elaine Woodsmith went to break into the Buckencroft residence. If she messed up, I want you to clean up the place so it can't be traced back to us. If she's not there, I want you to find her. All clear? You'd better make it quick before the guards send someone on their own to investigate, or of their own to investigate. So get this one done today, all right? All right, so we're going to the Buckencroft residence, and we're asking for Elaine Woodsmith, possibly on the way. It's pretty convenient being able to do stuff just in town. All right, it's weird. I can't ask for that person, so we're just going to be asking for the residence. Okay, it's northwest of us. You put it on our map. And the fact that we're using Moodex really throws a wrench into the idea of just grinding out the main quest as early as possible, because now I truly don't know what to expect from these dungeons. And it seems like my initial plan of just staying alive and leveling up might be the way to go here. Alright, let's see what's going on in the Buckencroft residence. Someone stands before you in the hall. What a mess. What a damn mess. You must be the one from the guild, the guild sent to clean that, I guess. Our guildmate who broke in here killed the owner before fleeing the place. Tell you what, you do your things, and I warn you, if I see any guards coming our way, the thief returns to another room, keeping watch. Well, shit, dude. Yep, here it is. Let's go ahead and interact with it. Before you stands the lifeless body of the Buckencroft residence owner. Judging by the wounds, it appears that she broke her neck against the wall or a nearby piece of furniture after the altercation. Most likely with Elaine Woodsmith. Wet footprints lead to an opened window. Yeah, that's the owner, all right. Name's Morgina Buckingfield, by the way. Let me help you, says the guildmate as she enters the room. The guildmaster may know how to dispose of the corpse. Let's rush straight to the guild. We don't want unwanted attention. Okay, so we have a buddy with us, and we're, I guess, just carrying the body with us. We're, like, wrapped it up in a blanket. We're gonna saddle it up on our horse as if it's like a rug. that needs to be sold somewhere, I guess. Okay, so we need to go back to southward, right? Yeah. Yeah, there are a couple of main quests that I feel a bit more comfortable doing, perhaps in the next episode. Like if we go talk to Morgaia and Wayrest, her quest is pretty simple. Especially kind of like what I was saying with Castle Necromogon. Like I wasn't exactly sure about how to find the quest item in Necromogon, but anybody that's played Daggerfall a couple of times it knows exactly what to do for Princess Morgaia. 1 second. What's that stench? Is that you, Journeyman? Wait, it's from the corpse. Bless my lord. What was that? Oh, she thought I farted. Okay. Hey, buddy, we got a real mess on our hands. By the dragon, get that out of here, you fools. You want the guards to trace that poor schmuck back to us? I know someone who will dispose of the corpse. Go to the Ashsmith graveyard. Once that's done, get back here. The spy master will be on our guildmate's case. Go. Okay, we're going to the graveyard now. That makes sense. We should have just done that to begin with. Actually, it should probably be on our map. What's it called? The Ashsmith graveyard. Yeah, so we wouldn't have any issues. Ashsmith. Doing Morgaia's quest, and it also would not be difficult to do the one for Prince Lotan once he contacts us. We're like 2 days away, but I feel like we could do some overland travel. I'm at up here. Yeah, let's just go south out of town. I think it'll be kind of funny to travel around with a corpse. I'm gonna tell our buddy here to wait. Oh wait, is this the tavern? Yeah, I'm gonna tell our buddy here to wait outside with the corpse, with the horse, as I go in and get some food for us, because that seems, you know what, I guess it would be easier to do that at a general store. I think we walked past a general store. We just want to keep our invigoration bonus while we're traveling overland. This is a pawn shop. I don't think that they will have food for us, but it wouldn't hurt to sell. Oh, there's an orange. Yeah. Wouldn't hurt to sell some of the stuff that we have. Bread. Okay, we're getting a little bit. Oh, we could use some more bandages too. I remember that. Not a ton of food, but at least enough to get us comfortably to the next town. Let's sell some of these books. I think that they're a little bit heavy. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay. Misclick. You should probably have another shelf upstairs where we might find a loaf of bread or something. Let's see. Take some arrows. And one more, or am I stealing? No, okay, this is... Okay, nothing for us. I imagine we still smell like garbage even if the corpse is like outside with our guildmate and the horse. This seems like an interesting quest. I wonder if it was in the base game or if this is one that was written by JH or Cliffworms. I know that some mod creators have added Thieves Guild quests like that. Okay. So we want to go south along the road. And hopefully we'll reach the next town kind of soon so we can get more food. Are we going the right direction? I think so. Oh, there's a squad of orcs. Hello. That's pretty dangerous. This feels kind of like wasting arrows, but it could be loot, and this strikes me as like free experience also. You know, I usually talk about how like with RPGs like this, you should just play the game, don't worry about metagaming and like leveling up optimally and stuff like that. And I still kind of feel like that, but also whenever you are like needing to not die for your character to progress and stay alive, there's a kind of practical concern about wanting to level up consistently and stuff like that. So I don't think that I can really pass up opportunities to get an archery level up here and there. Oh, there's one orc who's just hanging back. Maybe we should go kick his ass. It actually hurt a little bit. Alright, alright, alright. A little too close for comfort. I'm gonna send 5 more arrows their way, 4 more arrows their way, and then just like turn around. Oh, we got one. Well, now I want to get the arrows back, but it seems... I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't give me the opportunity to go back and fetch the arrows. There's some times where I don't roll... Oh, I hit him. Hit the sergeant. There are some times whenever I don't like roleplay that aspect of the game, but I like to, you know, indulge in it whenever I can. Okay, we've reached Chestertown. Surely there's some tavern, or actually we really would prefer a general goods store. I don't want to talk to people while I have like a corpse on my person though, so let's see if we can find a general store without asking around for one. It's like the longer we take to get to this graveyard, the more rancid we become. Also though, like, why exactly don't we just bury it out in the wilderness, you know what I mean? Seems like that's what I would do, but I have never been in this situation, so I'm not really good. Like my word isn't very good here. Use some more oil. Let's get this bread, y'all. Wait, we have a lot of bread. Oh, and an orange. Yeah, these, even though we have a large pool of hit points, these low levels are proving to be quite a challenge. Let's see, so we'll go do more Gaia's quest. We'll help out Prince Lotun whenever we can. And I think after Lotun's quest is whenever we'll get invited to start raiding certain castles. Like, what am I thinking of? Like the painting under Castle Wayrest, and not too long after that we'll get invited to go capture a soul of a lich. And that's like the real proving grounds for a hero, is like, are you ready to try to fight a lich right now? That's, you know, a real milestone. Thankfully this character, unlike Kirstia, is pretty good at combat, so whenever we get to that point we will probably be ready to fight the lich, but sometimes that's just like what makes or breaks your run. Thankfully, some of those quests, for example, the one that you do for Prince Lotun, I don't think that one is on a timer, like the one that we were trying to do unsuccessfully earlier today, like that one is. Let's see where we are. Let's just go eastward, I guess. Oh shit. Damn it. My stamina is dropping because I'm overheating. Temperature is too extreme to rest, are you kidding? It's just a warm and sunny day, right? Aw, dude. This is always happening. I run out of water because I, Hold on, let's use some potions of stamina. I usually don't think to refill my water skin because I'm always going to taverns. Okay, okay. So does the potion of stamina not quench my thirst? I don't know if we'll make it there. Let's see what our options are. We're pretty close. If things get too extreme, we'll just have to teleport and deal with like a reputation hit to the Thieves Guild. And I guess I should keep a second water skin on me, because I think this happened with Kirstia at some time also, at some point. Okay, potion of stamina. See, I can't even fast travel for very long before it's just all the way down. Yeah, it always sneaks up on me, and because I never think about refilling my water skin. I'm just flushing so much money away. Yeah, every drink of the stamina potion is like 100 gold or so. Alright, I don't think there's going to be anything I can really make use of in this tower, but I thought I'd check. Okay, stamina? Yeah, we have 2 more potions of stamina. We may as well just use them. Our stomach rumbles. Yeah, we should definitely try to get some invigoration. Keep our stamina up if possible. Oh, I think we made it. Okay, look what we have here. Someone wants to cross through my territory. Sorry, but that's a hefty fine of 300 gold. Do we attempt to fool the mugger? Yes, really, how pathetic. Be gone with you. Okay, we've made it to Chestering Hall, so I think if we were to pass out due to dehydration here, we would not die. So that's good. Ah, shit, man. That's, this is the most deadly part of Climates and Calories. Yeah, we drop to the ground exhausted, wake up an hour later. Just the fact that your water skin runs out and, like, you don't know about it, this is what gets me into the most trouble. Okay. So, we should, what should we do now? We've refilled our water skin, right? Is there a way to check on that? I don't really know. But we should go to this general store. I'm guessing this is a general store, right? Oh no, this is a place that's mismatched. It's not actually a store, it just looks orange on the map. Oh, there aren't any general stores here. I would really like to have another water skin, but you know, man, them's the breaks. It's weird for a store, like a village, to not have any general store at all. You know, I'm contemplating just going straight there, because that little debacle is kind of taking a while anyway. Okay. Got a level up, so that's nice. Our HP pool's increased all the way to 119. That's pretty huge. Alright, let's hit the speed a couple of times. Endurance once, strength once. Hey, don't you have a wagon? Why aren't we using that? Oh no, I have all this food that went bad. Gross. This is a pretty cool background. A woman wearing a robe with RK circle embroidered on the front approaches you. Greetings and welcome to the Ashmouth graveyard. Please put your loved one at my feet. I shall recite a prayer to RK to help guide your partner's soul. The priestess of RK winks at you, recognizing your affiliation with the Thieves Guild, and mentions that you can go. She picks up the body and throws it in what appears to be a mass grave. Damn, dude. Alright. It's like that. Alright, well, we're here at a graveyard. We might as well check it out and see if we can fight a couple rats or find some money laying around, that sort of thing. Alright. Gonna get just a casual disease from fighting some rats here. Okay. Alright. Hey look, we have a little chest to pick. Oh man. Oh, okay, I thought it was trapped. Maybe it is? What's that sound? Alright, that was kind of weird, but yeah. Stomped on some rats. That's always nice and cathartic. Oh, who is this guy? It's a healer. Is this the guy that helped us bury the bodies? It was a woman before. No, she's right there. Okay. Okay. We have not died from dehydration. That feels good. Friendly reminder to not die from dehydration in real life. Let me Go into auto run and then I'll take a sip. Oh, we're pretty close to the Thieves Guild too. That was an interesting quest. Okay. So our Devout of Arcade took care of it. Perfect. We pay that failed worshipper a good price for helping us in delicate operations like this. That reminds me, we need to get that amateur thief of ours back here. Elaine Woodsmith thinks she's well hidden, but we know she's in the Hearthwing residence. So get there and talk her to reason. Or beat her with a stick, I don't care. I just don't want her to die, else I'm going to give the gold to that weirdo of Arcade again. Morgana Buckenfield, you don't go with Bogard. Something else came up for you. What else do you need, boss? So yeah, bye, Bogard. Alright, so we're not quite done yet. We're going to go talk some sense into the person that killed and fled the scene. Hey, lady. Yeah, can you tell me how to get to... I think it's the Hearthfield residence. Oh, thanks. First try. There's the Buckencroft. Okay, it's way on the other side of town. You know, we always have a series of close calls with our Daggerfall characters. There were many occasions today where we might have blundered and just completely lost our run, thanks to those vampires. I'm wondering, what kind of character would you all like to see in the future if and when this guy bites the dust? I was thinking about making a poll on my channel sometimes, but you know, I just rarely do anything with my channel outside of the weekly upload, so I haven't gotten around to it. So if you have any input on that, be sure just leave me in the comments what kind of character you might be interested in seeing in the future, if there are any builds that you would like to see or anything like that. Otherwise, I'll just probably sometime next week leave a poll about these 3 character ideas that I have in mind and see what the reception is. I'm also receptive to playing other games. I don't really play a ton of video games these days, but I think I could do a weekly episode of whatever. Whether it's playing more Elder Scrolls games or something like Outward. Outward is a really fun game too. I haven't played that one in a long time, but yeah. Open to other stuff, in case you all get tired of watching me die repeatedly in Daggerfall. I guess I'm open to other stuff within reason. I think there's this trend where you start posting video game content and people are like, oh, well, you should play this game and that game. And I often just don't. You know, I'm kind of behind on the times. I don't really stay up to date with new games or anything like that. I am kind of fond of indie games and retro games. I think some commenter recommended something from 2009 and then heard me say oh, don't recommend me anything, and then deleted it. I felt kind of bad about that. I'm still, you know, vaguely interested in other games, just I don't want to buy games most of the time. Oh, dude. My quest. Oh, fuck shit, dude. Alright, I'm just going to end the episode here. If I can figure out how to turn this quest in, I'll let you know. Sometimes it's more trouble than it's worth trying to complete these custom quests, though, like the bandages from the Fighters Guild, things like that. I don't know. Regardless, I'll see you all in the next video, alright? I hope you all have a good day and a good weekend.